Hey guys, this is another sniper coming here with another video, and I hope you guys are doing fantastic. I'm doing alright, as always. And yeah, but anyways, today's video, I'm gonna try and make it real quick, but it will be a lot to talk about. So, for starters, if you guys recall what I said in one of my previous videos, I'm trying my best within my power to support and help not only my partner and his friends, but including my Twitch friends and my PlayStation friends who are still on my side and have my backs, of course. But as for my Twitch friends, ignore the noise in the background. But as for my Twitch friends, let's just say I have been doing a great job of supporting, helping them, and not to mention being very nice to them. Because I have owed them a lot, because I would say all of them have really inspired me and they really helped me a lot. And they always tell me this, but to me, like, it's not like I'm not listening to them, but it kind of feels like, you know what, forget that part. But to me, it feels like I owe them a lot, like for not only helping and supporting and inspiring me, but to me, I should return the favor and help them back. And some of them have been telling me I don't need to, but to be honest, it's kind of one of my codes. If you help me, then I'll help you back. But fortunately, that's not what I want to talk about. So, as you guys recall, one of my Twitch friends who I'm supporting right now, because I do it step by step, because I made a lot of friends last year, and trust me, there's a lot of them. But I help them one at a time, step by step. I cannot do it like all of them. And it's just one versus, well, no, not versus, it's one, which is me, but I'm not alone, of course. I also have my partner and his friends helping me, of course. But fortunately, you guys remember, and I did ask permission to ask to say her name, and you guys know who it is. But fortunately, I just want to say, and this is one of the reasons why I titled this video, but I'm also going to explain my reasons. So, thank you, Medusa, and including all of her friends. Normally I would say their names, but fortunately I forgot to ask permission, so I'm just gonna say that. And the reason why I'm saying this, because for my reasons. So obviously you guys know I've been supporting her and trying my best to help her with the game she's doing right now. So far, I've done a pretty good job, but if I'm also going to be honest, maybe I kind of revealed a bit too much. Because let's just say, like, it wasn't on purpose or anything, it was just, I think maybe I overdid it a bit. So I learned from my mistake. But that's not what I want to talk about. So here's the reason why I'm thanking her and her friends. So, from the very beginning, if you guys recall, and I'm pretty sure my partner would remember this, I have passed every single Resident Evil game in my life, but there were a few that I did not pass, which were 0, Resident Evil 1, and Code Veronica. Those were the only 3 Resident Evil games I did not pass. Now, some of the original Resident Evil games that came out maybe in 1999 or 2001, yeah, I have not played those because I think some of them were on PlayStation 1 or PlayStation Portable and PlayStation 2. Because there are other Resident Evil games called Resident Evil Outbreak, Resident Evil, I forgot what it's called, but yeah. But that's not my point. So fortunately, those Resident Evil games I could not stream because obviously they're really, 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 really old from the past. So yeah, and I don't have the technology to stream them. If I did, I would have shown you guys. But again, that's not the reason why I want to talk about. So, like I said, fortunately, I have my reasons why I did not do Resident Evil 0, Code Veronica, and 1. Because there are two Resident Evil games that I passed on the Wii version, Nintendo Wii. Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles and Resident Evil Darkside Chronicles. Now, Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles has a combination of Resident Evil 0, 1, 3, and that's basically it. However, unlike the unlike like 0, 1, and 3, because you guys know you had to figure out puzzles, go through doors, and it's almost like you're walking in a maze. Because in the original Resident Evil games, and I'm pretty sure Medusa will agree with me on this, because back then, how Resident Evil was originally made, like the first Resident Evil game was in first person view. Like, you know how you play as Ethan in Resident Evil 7 and Village, when you play in first person view, but you don't hold the gun like this. It's basically like, think of it as an arcade game where you pick up a gun, well, toy gun, and then point it at the screen, and then yeah. Of course, there were puzzles, but fortunately, unlike Resident Evil 0, 1, and Code Veronica, they kind of changed it a bit, because instead of first person view, they kind of, and like I said, some of you guys will agree with me on this. So the reason why I did not do those three games, because one, the camera view, because every single time when you move the character, the camera angle changes, and when you try to move your, like, let's say I'm trying to move left, but when the camera changes, I'm going up. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to do it. Reason number two is because back then, at first I thought maybe it would be too challenging for me, because fortunately I did play Resident Evil 1 and 0 back then, but that was like maybe when I was like 9 or 10 years old, and I kept like and I'm gonna be honest, I kept complaining, and I kept saying, oh, it's too hard, I can't pass it. So yeah, I kind of quit playing them because it was too hard for me. However, and yeah, that was the reason why I did not tell you guys until now, because yeah, that's the reason why I did not want to play those three games, because I thought maybe the puzzles and the map of the area will get me confused, because like I said, it's almost like you're walking in a maze. But fortunately, as of now, how I am right now, I've grown, and some of you guys know about my backstory and know what I went through, and yada yada yada. I learned a lot of stuff on my own. Yeah. So fortunately, I guess all that bad stuff that happened to me and the stuff I learned on my being solo has really increased my brain and my eyes. So fortunately, because I always told my partner, my eyes are, what's the word I'm looking for? Straight eye? No. Sharp eyes. There we go. Sharp eyes, and my brain. Yeah. But still, that was why back then I did not want to do it, because I would say I was week at the time, because yeah, and still, however, until now, this year when I saw, because I'm not gonna explain much because, like I said, I did ask permission to say her name, but I did not ask permission to explain the plans she's doing. So, yeah. But what I can say is, like I told you guys from in one of the videos when I told you when I was supporting her, she's gonna be doing some editing on her streams on Twitch, and then she's gonna post them on YouTube, so that way you guys can see how she's doing it. Well, in case you guys don't have Twitch accounts, or if you miss the streams, you can always go to her channel and watch how she did it in her stream. But like I said, she's gonna do a little bit re-editing because, well, I'm not gonna explain it because that's gonna be personal to her. But so yeah, but however, that's not what, like everything I explained, that was just an explanation. That was not one of the reasons why I'm thanking her and her friends. So here's the reason why I'm thanking them. So of course, like I said, they have supported and really inspired me and really helped me a lot trying to be, well, I don't even know what to say, but all I can say is I really owe them a lot, and I'm doing within my power how to support them, of course. So here's what's going on. So as you guys may have noticed, she's posted videos her doing of Resident Evil 1. And you guys can take a wild guess why that is. But I'm not going to tell you guys because, like I said, that, like, her plans are her plans. So I'm not going to share them unless, yeah. But if she is watching this video, next time I should really ask more permission first. So, yeah. But still. So, here's why I'm thanking. So, Medusa and her friends, if they are watching this right now, here's the part why I'm thanking you. So, fortunately, I didn't want to play 0, 1, or Code Veronica because, of course, you would agree with me on this. And the camera angle and the locations, you have to have a good memory where you're going. Yeah. Because I really thought I would suck and really, really be bad at the game. But after my experience of playing every single Resident Evil game through Resident Evil 2 Remake to all the way to Resident Evil Village, but because Resident Evil 4 came out, about a few years ago, but because I was going to say through Resident Evil 2 Remake all the way to Resident Evil 8, aka Resident Evil Village, because, yeah, because I really passed them a lot and have a good memory of the puzzles and have a good memory of my enemies. And after playing Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles and Umbrella Chronicles, because I already know what happens, but after playing Resident Evil 0 and 1, they were kind of a bit different from what I've seen on Umbrella and Dark Side Chronicles. So, yeah. But here's what I'm saying right now. I'm thanking you because if I would have to say it or describe it, I'm saying you kind of unlocked my experience of me doing Resident Evil 0 and 1. So, yeah. I just want to say thank you, Medusa and her friends, because I would never have done Resident Evil 0 and 1 if you guys didn't, like, inspire me and you kind of gave me experience of me doing them. And I really thought it was going to be hard, but turns out not really. I guess I was wrong. So, yep, because the puzzles and everything, because back then I was weak and I was not smart at the time. But now, how I've improved a lot since then as I've been growing up, I guess I have more experience than I thought I would. But really, it's all thanks to you guys. So, thank you very much. So, that's two. Well, I still need to complete Resident Evil 0, but Resident Evil 1, that's checked off my list. And 0, well, I will be streaming it again today, but there's only one Resident Evil game that still I have not done on my list, which is obviously Resident Evil Code Veronica. And I do not have that game. But the question is, and this is my message to my partner and his friends, should I get Resident Evil Code Veronica? Because fortunately, I always told you guys I am the master, and yeah, I'm the master of Well, I'm not the only one. There are other players who are more skilled and professional on Resident Evil games, have passed them in professional, hard mode, or even higher than professional mode. But me, I'm one of them. Because I have passed every single, well, every single Resident Evil game that I managed to pass. And yeah, but those three games, 0, 1, and Code Veronica, they are the only three that I have not passed in my life until this year. But like I said, I still need to complete Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1. I completed, but I don't know if I completed it in hard mode or I don't know. But Code Veronica is the only one remaining left. And if I purchase it, it will complete my whole collection of Resident Evil games. And it'll make me a true master. Because like I said, I am the master of Resident Evil. But to become a true master, you have to complete every single Resident Evil games. But however, like I said before, some of the older Resident Evil games that are on PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and yeah, some of them I cannot do them because they're not on PlayStation 4 or 5. And I doubt they're ever going to do that. Or maybe make a remake version, but I don't think so. But however, like I said, if I do get Resident Evil Code Veronica, that means because from the very beginning it has been Resident Evil 2 remake all the way to Resident Evil 8, aka Village, because this is how I do it in order: Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, and then Resident Evil Revelation, Revelation 2, and then Resident Evil 7, and then finally Village. But this time I'm going to do them in order, well, of the timeline. So this time, this is going to be different. This time it'll be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 for remake, and Resident Evil Revelation, then Resident Evil 5, then Resident Evil Revelations 2, then Resident Evil 6, then Resident Evil Resident Evil, sorry, I'm getting a bit confused, but Resident Evil 7, and finally Resident Evil Village. Those are the timelines, how it goes in order. So yeah, but still, if I complete those games once again in order of the timeline, that means I am truly the master of Resident Evil. Because right now I only feel like I'm only master of how I did. But to become a true master, you have to complete all of them in order. But still, like I said, Code Veronica is the only one I do not have in my collection. But the question is, do you guys want me to play that game? That is my only question. So, yeah. But anyways, before I end this video, I'm going to say this one last time. Medusa and her friends, if you guys are watching this, I just want to say thank you again for inspiring me and giving me, well, I would say inspired, yes, but other words, I don't know how to say it, but you guys, my partner and my friends and any of my viewers, you should be thanking Medusa and her friends for making me have experience to play Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1. But the question is, do you guys want me complete Resident Evil Code Veronica? I know I keep saying that a lot, but this is gonna be the last time. Well, on this video, but still, you guys get the point. So yeah. So again, thank you very much, and I'll still continue doing my best to support you and your friends, of course, the best I can, because that's what friends are for. And yeah. So now you guys know, and I explained everything I could. It's sorry, I'm having a hard time talking, but I explained everything I can tell you guys, and you guys really should give some likes and subscribe to her channel. If you guys forgot it, then once again, I will put her YouTube channel in the description below, so that way you guys can go see her. And if you guys want to go see, like I said, she only streams on Twitch, but I know some of you guys don't have Twitch accounts, so I understand. But like I said, if you guys missed them, like I said, she will be posting them on YouTube, but she's gonna be doing like some re-editing. That's all I'm gonna say. So it will take some time, and it's a lot of hard work for her. So give her time. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So peace out. Stay safe. And Medusa and her friends, the same to you, including all my friends and my partner. Yeah. But anyways, peace.